Namaste. Welcome to Katimerayoga. Today, this free online yoga class, we're going to touch on one of the classic yoga postures known as Warrior Number 1. It's also known as Proud Warrior. Before you come to this part of the video, you should already gone through a list of benefits of this Proud Warrior. So you can actually see there's actually a lot of benefit you actually receive from practice these yoga postures. In fact, this Proud Warrior is one of my favorite yoga postures. Why is my favorite yoga postures? Firstly, because it's actually help me to get the full body being stretched, upper part of the body and lower part of the body, because I have a full-time office work that required me to sit in front of the computer for long hours. So for anybody which actually require you to sit for long hours, definitely you will have this backache problem, whole body aching problems. So I find that this Proud Warrior, this postures is actually, it helps to release all this tension, all this aching, all this pain. Release from my body is actually giving my body a good stretch for my back, my shoulders, my arm, even my leg, as you also get the calf muscles, your hamstring, your ankles, your hips, every part of the body being stretched. It's actually a very good posture. So I would highly recommend for those people who actually need to sit for long hours, you suffer this body aching, you can practice this Proud Warrior. It will help to release all your pain, all the tensions there. And actually, besides for the benefit that I actually receive from this Proud Warrior, another reason why it's also one of my favorite yoga postures, because I actually have an unexpected experience while I'm actually practice these postures. It actually happened many years ago in one of my yoga practice. While I'm actually holding at this Proud Warrior, I actually have an unexpected experience. It's actually a very good experience that actually is something, how should I say, is something, it's from the experience that I get to understand what is actually mean by body, mind and soul being connected into one. I also get to understand what people means by I actually become the posture become me. So it's like this I, this so-called I, it doesn't exist at all, because I'm the posture is me. And at the kind of state, the experience that I receive, I actually feel very relaxed. I feel very light. As light like a feather. It's very light. I can actually hold at the postures there as long as I like. Usually people will be struggling. The longer they hold the posture, the more they struggle at the posture state, correct? But for me, when I reach the state, in fact, I can hold the posture as long as I like, if I want to, because I feel so light, so I don't feel any struggle at all. In fact, I don't see myself as it at all. It's like, as I mentioned, I become the posture become me. There's no this I at all. It's a very good experience. Maybe I will talk more about this personal experience about this Proud Warrior in my next video. Maybe in my this yoga sharing time, I will talk more about that. So for today, we will focus on this Proud Warrior. We will go into the practical session. I will be teaching you how to come into this Proud Warrior step by step with explanation, and I will also tell you what is the common mistake that people make so that you can avoid all this mistake while practice this proud warrior. At the same time, I will also bring you through different version of this warrior 1. Okay. There will be a version that's suitable for elderly people. Okay. So in other words, okay, everybody can practice this proud warrior. Therefore, definitely there's a version that suits you, okay? Because there's definitely a version that suits you. Even you like more challenging, I also can teach you what are the version it can go into. Okay? They're actually more in depth, okay, for those people who prefer more challenging. So, are you ready? We shall begin the class now. We shall start with a classic version of this warrior number 1, proud warrior. Firstly, I will show you how to bring the legs apart. Okay? There are also different ways of bringing the legs apart over here. Started, okay, one of the way is standing at the center of the mat here. Okay, one of the way, okay, you can bring your legs apart over here while standing at this mountain pose, Tata Asanas, standing tall here, grounding the feet, spine erecting up straight. Okay. You can start by, okay, putting hands on the waist. You can just simply start by just bringing the leg, okay, one leg at a time to bring the legs apart. Okay. This is also one of the way to bring your legs apart. It's a simple way to bringing the legs apart over here. And there's another way you can actually to bring the legs apart. Some people might actually stand on just one side, okay, of the yoga mat. Okay. So they just simply just stretch one leg apart. So if you're standing on the right side, so same thing, just stretch one leg away and bring the legs apart. This is another way of bringing your legs apart over here. Or another simple way is just by walking your feet to bring the legs apart. So same thing, there are also different ways of bringing the legs back. You can either walk the feet back. There's also another way of bringing the legs apart by jumping. Okay, first, usually it started off with the palms together in front of the chest at this mountain posture, this variation of mountain pose. Usually the jumping, you just bringing your legs apart as you jump. So same thing, to bring the legs back, okay, you just jump back. Okay, this is another way. Okay. So of course, jumping method, okay, is not suitable for elderly people, okay, or for those people who have knee problems there. Okay. Because if you jump, you also must know how to land your feet down so that there's not too much impact to your knee. So you must able to know how to land gently, okay, when you jump. So jumping is not just simply jumping, there's a method also. Okay. You must learn how to land gently. And same thing, bring the legs back gently. So there's not so much impact on the knees there. So those people who cannot jump, you can use that few method that I have teach you earlier on to bring the legs apart there. And there's also another way of bringing the legs apart, which actually I do it in my own class. And usually, because this method, it works on grounding down first, feet grounding down, spine extending. From here, usually I will start with telling my students, just finding the center body weight stand. And just bring your one feet one step out. Bring the body weight back to the center. Then slowly shifting the body weight to the right foot. Find the center body weight stand and balance, bending the knee. And stretch the left leg more further out away with the knee bend. And shift the body weight back to the center to bring the legs apart over here. So this is one of the way. So there are actually many ways to bring the legs apart. You want to go for a simple one, just simply bring the legs apart. Okay, no problem. Okay, and there's also another way, okay, of bringing the legs apart. Okay, there's another version, okay, of this Proud Warrior, warrior number 1. It's actually suitable for elderly people. Okay, it's suitable for those people who actually legs are not so strong, okay, which I will actually bring out later on. Okay, now we will just start with, okay, this classic, okay, version first. Okay, to bringing, okay, the legs apart, you can choose, okay, whichever way, okay, to bring the legs apart. Okay, now with the legs apart over here, okay, hands on the waist. First thing you must check is the alignment of the feet. Your feet must be in a line. Okay, for this classic version, your feet must be in a line. And next, you just turn one foot out. That's I'm turning my right foot out, so my left foot in. And slowly turning the body to the right, where the foot is turning out. Now over here, while you're at this posture, you are supposed to squaring your hip. Okay? In other words, working on this left hips more forward to square the hip. Okay? For me, what I will teach my student, for an easy way to squaring your hip is leaving the left heel up first, then ground it down again. Because this way you can easy to adjust your hip, okay, squaring your hips here. So keep work on the left hips forward, back leg stretch, grounding the right foot, squaring your hips over here. Now from here next, okay, you release the hand, you inhale, raising the both arm up, palm facing palm, keeping the spine extending up with arm raising up. Just imagine something up there, trying to reach in your fingers there. Now slowly with an exhalation, you're bending the front knee. Now a common mistake, okay, make sure the right knee and the right heel is in a line. In other words, don't overbend your knees, okay? You will strain your knee. So keep working on the left hips forward, squaring your hip, keep the back leg strong stretch, grounding the foot. Make sure your right knee and the heel is in a line. These are the alignment, okay, that you have to check yourself. Keep the spine extending up with the arms stretching. Just imagine something up there, trying to reaching the fingers there. Proud Warrior. Now, if you can, over here, you slowly look up between your hands. Some people, they cannot look up. They look up, they lost balance. If that is the case, you remain looking front, okay? If you can look up between your hands, also can some more, bringing a palm touching. Now, some people, they have problem bringing the palm touching with the arm stretching. They might be end up elbow bending, cannot straighten the arm, cannot stretch the arm. If that is the case, you remain your arms apart. Okay, those have no problem. Then you're bringing a palm touching. Keep the spine extending up, with arms stretching up, back leg strong straight. Quick squaring your hip by working on the left hips forward. Okay, hold the postures there with the breath. Now I know that there's some people, they like to lock the thumb to stretch your arm. Okay, that's different. You lock the thumb to stretch your arm, or without locking the thumb, there's palm touching. Okay, if you lock the thumb to stretch your arm, it get more stretch on the arm, your shoulders, your back there. But if you want to work on the strength, if you want to build up the strength of the muscles, it's best not to lock the thumb. So it's a different benefit. Okay, you lock the thumb, you get more stretch on the arm, your shoulders, your back. But if you don't lock the thumb, then work on the palm touching or stretching your arm, you work more on the strength. To keep stretching your back extending, arm stretching. So it's actually have to build up the strength over here without the thumb locking. Okay, so depend what you are actually looking for. So when you finish holding the postures, you just inhale back up. Exhale. Bringing your arms down and relax first. Then just observing the breath and relax before you go for the other side. So always remember, when you do the right side, must do the left side at the same time to balance back the body. Okay, now I'm going to show you next thing. Okay, now we're going to do the next side. Okay, so this time turn my left foot out, right foot in, then use the body to my right. To working on the right hips more forward, I'm raising my right heel up, then grounding down again, so that easy for me to square my hip Keep work on the right hips forward to squaring your hip. Keep the back leg strong stretch, grounding your foot. Keep the spine extending up, okay? Slowly. Now, there's another way, okay? Just now, early on, I work on stretching my arm first to keep the spine extending. Then before I bending my left knee, and from there, if you can, then you look up between your hands. If you can, some more, then bring in a palm touch, okay? This is one of the way. Okay, so there's another way. Okay, when you at this position, you can actually start with bending the knee first. So you have this grounding feeling. Okay, keep the hip squaring, back leg strong. Make sure your left knee heels in the line, don't overbend. So feel the grounding, feel the stability at the bottom part of the body there. Then before you raise them up, extending the spine up. If you can, then palm touch. If you can, look up. Okay, this is also another way. Okay, so you can either do it with arm stretching, then bend the knee, or bend the knee first, then stretch your arm. Okay, when finished, then slowly back up and back to the front here. For me, usually I will get my students to stretch your arm first because I want to get their spine extending while bending the knees. Okay? Because usually some people, you ask them to bend the knee first, they're actually not working on the spine there, to keeping the spine erecting up the stair. Okay? So while bring them to bring the arm stretching up to help to keep the spine extending before the knees bending, okay? Which I find that is actually better that way. Okay, now one of the way how to bring so-called more in-depth into the postures is you can bring the legs more apart over here. In other words, okay, so that when you're bending the knee, its form become a 90 degrees over here while squaring the hip. Okay, this way you will work more strength there, okay, on your legs there and ankles there. So it's actually a more in-depth postures. Okay, for those people who like challenging, you can go more in depth by spreading the legs more apart so that you can form a 90-degree angles there. Okay, over here. With the knee heels in line, you can form in a 90-degree. You work more strength on the legs there and get more stretch at the hips there at the same time. Okay, so for those who like to challenge yourself to go more in depth, this is one of the way. When finished, slowly back up, hand exhale, slowly arms down. Okay, from here, you can actually walk a feet back to bring the legs back. And come back to the standing relaxing posture here, to relax here. Okay, now next, okay, I'm going to teach you another variation, okay, how to come to this proud warrior. This variation is suitable for beginner. Okay, suitable for those people who have a stiff hip. Okay, why? Because as you notice, okay, when you're doing this version, your feet is in the lines over here. Those people who have a stiff hip, okay, that might have a problem to squaring the hip. Okay, the hips is actually maybe end up one back, one front. They have problems squaring the hips. Okay? They cannot, because the hip is too stiff. Okay? They might have problems squaring the hips there. Okay? So this variation, okay, that I'm going to show you, okay, is actually good for people who have a very stiff hip. Okay? It's also suitable for elderly people there. Okay? How to come to this proud warrior for this different variation? You will be standing in front of the mat over here. Okay, it's a different way now. Okay, you can hands on the waist first. You just simply bring the one leg one step back, so that your front leg is knee bending. Make sure don't overbend your knee and hip in the line. So when you're bringing this, you can see when you bring the leg one step back. Okay, it's just like nice. Yeah, although the feet is not exactly in the line, okay? Because when you're standing front, your legs, okay, is not in the lines together. Okay? So when you just step back, so it's actually there's a slight gap difference, okay, when you're stepping back. So this way actually help you to find the stability there. And so easy to squaring your hip, because when you're standing in front of the yoga mat, your hip is actually already in the line, is square over here. It's just bringing one leg back only. So the front knee is bending. Then from here, you come to the posture here. You can either choose with the palms apart, those who can then palm touching, okay? The bend, okay? How flexible you are with the shoulder arms there. So when finish, slowly back down. So to come back, you just bring the back leg back to the front. So same thing for the other side, okay? You just step back while bending the front knee. Just step back, squaring your hips already, spine standing, raise the arm up. Extending the spine up. Keep the back leg strong, stretch, grounding the foot while squaring the hip. Okay, those who can then palm touch. Okay, this version, okay, is suitable for people who have a stiff hip, also for elderly people. And also this way, you won't actually need to open the leg too wide, so easier for you to find the stability, balance there. Okay, so finish. Just bring your leg back to the front. Okay, this is a simple version, okay, to come into the proud warrior, warrior number 1. And also there's actually another version, which is a chair yoga version, okay, that is suitable for those people who actually really have a very weak leg, okay? They can't actually stand to do the yoga posture. Then they can go into the chair yoga, okay? They actually have a chair yoga, okay, version of this warrior number 1, proud warrior. I actually have one of my online yoga class, a video that I actually have made, okay, chair yoga for the hip, and one of the postures I actually bring in is the proud warrior, doing the proud warrior with a chair. Okay, the chair that I'm going to use is actually a round chair. Okay, it's not a normal kind of chair. You can check out, okay, on my online yoga class, okay, chair yoga for the hip. Okay, one of the postures is actually proud warrior. You can see actually what are the chair that I actually use and how you can go into the proud warrior, okay, with that chair to get, okay, your hips stretched and also the leg and upper part of the body being stretched there. I hope everyone have enjoyed today's yoga session. You have learned different variation of this proud warrior. So you can find the variation key that actually suit you and put into your daily practice, regular practice. You can actually experience it yourself. Okay? It's actually a very good posture. So over here, I would also like to call out all levels of yoga practitioner, regardless you are a new learner, beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Okay? And also to all the yoga teachers, you can actually share your experience about this proud warrior. Over here, I would like to call you out for all the yoga practitioners to contribute by sharing your experience about this proud warrior. As you won't know, what you have shared might help someone out there. Maybe someone out there might be searching for some solution for their problem, okay? And maybe they encounter what you have shared and they realize they actually have, say, facing the same problem as you, and this proud warrior can actually help them, okay, in their problem. So you might actually helping someone, okay, what you have shared. You actually help to encourage them, okay, motivate them to go into this practice, okay, this proud warrior posture to improve their conditions. So it actually helping someone, okay, by sharing, okay, your experience. So you can actually share your experience, okay, in the comment section under this video, or you want to, you can also share in my Facebook, okay, at this katimerayoga. Or if you prefer to send me an email, you can also send it to katimerayoga@gmail.com. You can, especially for those people who have a lot to share, might prefer to send me an email. As email, you can actually type a lot, okay? Maybe you have some life experience that you like to share. like me, okay, I have some life experience about these proud warriors, okay, so you can actually send me through email, okay. You don't have to worry if you send it through email, you cannot actually share it to the public, okay. I will actually find ways, okay, to release, okay, whatever you have shared, okay, through email, okay, to the public, okay. It's in my plan that you don't have to worry, okay. It's in my plan. So don't forget, okay, to share your experience, okay, about this proud warrior. And over here, I would like to thank you everyone for your time, okay, for joining this yoga sessions today. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And also subscribe to my channel if you have not. Thank you everyone for your support. Okay. I shall see you again. Namaste.